The Greater Southwest Insurance Company office in Kingman, Arizona. The following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the Red Rock matter. Expense account item 1, $1.70 for a telegram to Jake Kessler giving him my flight time. Item 2, $169 even, plane fare and incidentals, Hartford to New York to Las Vegas, Nevada. Early the next morning then, Jake was there at the Vegas airport waiting for me. Tall, angular, well-tanned, wearing jeans, a denim shirt, high-heeled boots, and a broad-brimmed hat. Well, he looked like he should have been riding a range pony instead of a car. We headed east on 95 through Boulder City, then south toward Kingman, Arizona.
All right, now, Johnny, now that we got the how-to-dos over with, I better tell you why I called you out here.
Hey, you said something about a murder, Jake.
We'll know for sure when we get down to Kingman. Now, back in 52, Johnny, a couple of boys named Ralph Garrett and Jerry Bisby were doing quite a bit of prospecting around these parts.
Gold?
Gold, silver, copper, anything they could find. So how they ever joined up together, nobody could rightly understand it.
Yeah, why do you say that?
Well, Ralph was okay. Not much money, but a nice wife, home, family. But Jerry Bisby, well, the town had been hoping he'd go somewhere else for years.
Ah, I see.
Anyhow, one day they set out to pound the rocks up near the town of Chloride over near Mount Tipton. A month or so later, though, Jerry Bisby came back to Kingman alone.
Oh?
Folks asked him where Ralph Garrett was. He said Ralph had left him to go out and get a job in California.
And left Bisby with the rights to all their claims?
Well, now, that wasn't even talked about. Not then.
Yeah, well, go on, Jake.
Anyhow, Ralph's wife claimed it was all a big lie, that Bisby had taken Ralph out there in the desert and killed him.
But why? Why did she think that?
Claimed Ralph almost hadn't gone on that particular trip, that he'd gotten suspicious of Bisby, that he was scared of him, and that Ralph wouldn't have just up and left her like that.
Well, did she tell this to the police?
Sure did. So they looked around all over the state, even notified the boys over in California, but nobody couldn't find a sign of Ralph.
I see.
So then she got a hold of some relative she has over in the state's attorney's office over in Phoenix. And, Johnny, before you knew it, Jerry Bisby was up on trial for murder.
Oh, but on such flimsy evidence and without a body.
Sure. Jerry was acquitted. Now, like I say, that was back in 52. But we only paid off the insurance on Ralph about a year ago, lacking any legal proof that Ralph was dead until that statute of limitations said he had to be here or something.
Yeah, I know. But now about this man Bisby. Does he still live in Kingman?
No, Johnny. As soon as that trial was over, he sold his little place, left town, and never come back.
And with no actual proof that he'd killed his partner.
Now, just a minute.
Yeah?
Didn't your Eastern papers carry anything about that big windstorm we had out here last week?
Windstorm?
Biggest one we've had in years. Must have blew 70, 80 mile an hour. Johnny.
Oh, yeah, I guess I did read something about that.
Sure you did.
Yeah, I remember now. That wind uncovered the bones of a man who'd apparently become lost somewhere out here in this desert some years ago.
Lost, huh?
What do you mean?
There's something the papers didn't say, Johnny. There was a bullet hole in the back of the skull.
Oh?
From exactly the same caliber as the old Winchester 94 Jerry Bisby'd always carried with him.
Then it looks like the skeleton is Ralph Garrett's. Murdered and buried out there by this Jerry Bisby.
Well, now, there's only one person can identify that skeleton for sure, Johnny.
Who's that?
Young Doc Blessing. And if we're lucky, we'll find him awaiting for us in Kingman.
Well, that was all Jake had to say about the matter until we could talk to Dr. Blessing. When we got to Jake's office there in Kingman, we found a note in the door from Dr. Blessing asking us to wait for him. So we sat there and waited.
And then he came here and... Drat the dang flies. Think out here in this nice clean desert air, they wouldn't... There you are! Oh, I won't be able to hear out of this here for a week.
Yeah, I thought you were trying to knock your head off there for a minute.
I almost did.
But you were saying that young Doc Blessing took over his father's practice out here.
Yeah, a couple of years ago. And that included all the records his pa had always kept, complete records of every case he'd ever handled. Notes, prescriptions, x-rays, everything. Boxes, crates, cartons of them, Johnny. And that's what young Doc's looking into right now, all those old records.
Why, Jake?
Because he had a vague remembrance that one time, a long while ago, his pa... Oh, howdy, Doc.
Jake, I take it you're Johnny Dollar.
That's right.
I'm Doc Blessing. Glad you're here, Dollar. Jake, I've been over at police headquarters.
And you found something, Doc?
Yes, Doctor.
Now, you must understand this, Dollar. The police around here are fine. Good state authorities, too, but this thing may be beyond their reach.
What'd you find in your pa's old record?
Jake, I found evidence, including x-rays, that proved that my father patched up a broken thigh for Ralph Garrett back in 47. X-rays clearly showed the steel femoral plate he used to pin two sections of bone together.
Then, Doc.
It's been kept from the papers, Dollar. But on the skeleton they found in the desert was that very same fractured thigh bone and the stainless steel plate that my father...
I know it.
Well, there's no question about it. That skeleton is Ralph Garrett's.
Well...
And with that bullet hole from Jerry Bisbee's gun in the skull.
Exactly.
Or a gun like Bisbee.
Yeah, now, don't start kidding yourself, Johnny.
Yeah, now, Dollar,
Okay, you got a point. It looks as though Bisbee murdered him, all right.
Of course he did. Why else would he skip out after the trial? So what you've got to do, Johnny, is get out and find it, bring him back to justice. That's all.
That's all?
Well, yes.
Oh, sure.
Next time you refresh, enjoy a frosty, ice-cold Pepsi-Cola.
Sociability, Charlie.
All right, Kay, how's this? Pepsi is light, refreshes without filling. You like to refresh? Have a Pepsi right now.
Well, offer it to everybody, Charlie.
I will. Enjoy Pepsi at the fountain. It's delicious at home, too. Have one at lunch or with a snack.
Charlie.
At the beach or at dinner. Wherever you go, wherever you're thirsty, Pepsi is there.
It's here, too, in our Be Sociable song. Be sociable, look smart, keep up to date with Pepsi. Drink light, refreshing Pepsi. Stay young and fair and debonair. Be sociable, have a Pepsi.
For the weekend, have plenty of Pepsi around. Pick up an extra carton today. CK, I'm sociable.
With Pepsi, everyone is.
And now, the second act of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Now, Jake, you say that right after his trial, Bisbee left town.
And no forwarding address, and I don't need to tell you nobody's seen hide nor hair of him since.
Well, what happened to the rights to the mining claims?
Sold him out, didn't he, Doc?
That's correct. Did he get much money for them?
No. And, of course, he had to share and share alike with Ralph's widow.
Hey, Doc, you say you just saw the police.
Yeah, Dollar, and of course they're certain, too, that Bisbee murdered Ralph Garrett. On the strength of the evidence I was able to provide for him.
Any idea how they plan to proceed?
Yeah, I assume they've notified the state police and that they'll put out bulletins all over the country. All of which will take time, of course.
Yeah, in other words, they have no idea whatsoever where Jerry Bisbee might be by now.
Well, after all, Johnny, after all these years.
Yeah.
Bisbee may have gone anywhere after he left here, and since he alone had knowledge of his guilt at that time.
Yeah. So all I have to do is perform a slight miracle and... Hey, wait, you say that he was a prospector while he was living here in Kingman.
That's right.
Well, what else did he do?
Well, he kind of worked some of the mines now and then, enough to keep him in food and clothes and tobacco's all.
And liquor, of course. He was a heavy, disagreeable drinker.
But that's all.
It's the only work he knew. Now I got some house calls to make. If I can be of any further help.
Yeah, well, maybe that gives me an idea.
Yeah?
No, you go ahead, Doc. I can work on it right here.
Very well. Don't hesitate to call me.
What's this idea, Johnny?
Just let me use this phone.
Well, sure, go ahead.
My first call was to the Bureau of Mines in Washington. I practically had to have them check me out with the FBI before they give me the information I wanted. But finally, in the course of running up a $27 phone bill, that's item 3 on the expense account.
Yes, Mr. Dollar, I've located a listing of mining claims in the name of Jerry Bisbee.
Then he's still prospecting.
The list begins with 1944. All claims up to 1952 were in Arizona.
Yeah.
Would you like me to read them to you?
No, thanks. What I'm interested in is recent claims, and I've got a suspicion they won't be in Arizona.
Let me see now. Yes, you're quite right.
Yeah?
Within the past few years, he's apparently been doing some prospecting in the state of Nevada.
Where?
Well, in several rather widely separate... Well, of course, the office in Carson City could give you more up-to-date information than we have.
Yeah, you're right. I'll call him. Thanks very much.
Progress?
Yeah, Jake. It looks like maybe we're getting somewhere.
I knew you would, Johnny.
But on my call to Carson City, capital of Nevada, I ran into a stone wall.
Well, I'm sorry, sir, but I have no authority to give out such information over the phone.
All right, now, listen, please,
when
miss.
Mr. Harker gets back to the office, if you care to call back in 2 or 3 hours.
Look, isn't there somebody else there who can give me the information I need? All I want...
Without Mr. Harker's authorization? I doubt it, sir.
But look, miss, I just want to
If
get...
you were to come here in person and show the proper credentials.
Yeah, sure, thanks.
What's the matter with him up there, Johnny?
Oh, I don't know. Jake,
Yeah?
is there anybody around here owns a plane?
An airplane?
Well?
Well, there's young Kenny McManus has a little single
Then come on, let's find him and see if he'd like to fly a charter job. Expense account item 4, $175 to Kenny McManus for the use of his plane and his service as pilot. Only I'm not so sure I would have chartered that particular plane if I'd taken time for a real good look at it before we started off. Yeah, with 2 passengers, a full load of gas, and my luggage, it was hardly... Well, let's face it. It was old and definitely underpowered for such a trip. We missed the tops of several mountains by only inches along the way. But somehow, shortly after noon, we landed in the Nevada capital. Item 5, $1 to one of the lads at the hangar for a ride into the local bureau representative. Mr. Harker was somewhat reticent until I mentioned one word.
What was that, Mr. Dollar?
Murder, Mr. Harker. I want this man Bisby for murder.
I see. And I'm certain I can be of help to you.
And now, thanks to Mr. Harker's cooperation, I finally really got on Jerry Bisby's trail. Item 6, $50, deposit on a rental car, and I headed due east. I headed for the lively old ghost town of Virginia City. I didn't know I was also heading into one of the most dangerous situations in my whole career.
A real cigarette. Have a Camel.
Have a Camel cigarette.
A real cigarette. Have a Camel. Have a Camel cigarette. Best tobacco makes the best smoke.
Have a Camel cigarette.
Best tobacco makes the best smoke. Have a Camel cigarette.
If you're smoking more these days, but enjoying it less, change to Camels. The Camel blend of costly tobaccos has never been equaled for real smoking satisfaction. Have a real cigarette.
Have a Camel.
Start to really enjoy smoking again.
Now back to yours truly, Johnny Dollar and the Red Rock Matter.
Virginia City is fabulous. A monument to the rip-roaring days of the Comstock Lode. When all too often a man's life depended on how fast he could draw, or how well he could defend a hunk of barren ground that he chipped away at in the hope it would give up millions of dollars worth of gold-bearing quartz, or the heavy blue mud so rich in silver ore. Still standing are many of the colorful buildings put up in the 1860s. Piper's Opera House. You picked up your key at the Bucket of Blood Saloon. There was the office of the Territorial Enterprise that carried editorials by Mark Twain. The famous Crystal Bar. The gambling halls where debts were paid in dust and nuggets. Famous names, too. O'Reilly and McLaughlin, Comstock and Gould, McKay and Mills, Fair, Flood, and O'Brien. Yeah, the Bonanza Kings. All of them had meant fabulous wealth in the days of the gold rush. Yep, you can almost see their ghosts walking the streets. Well, I found a fount of local information and a grizzled old character parked on a rocker in front of one of the ancient saloons.
Bisby, son. Jerry Bisby.
Yes, sir, that's right.
Well, if I was you, I'd stay away from him. Yes, I would.
Well, why do you say that, sir?
Because, son, that D4 man's crazy. Staying up there in that shack on top of Red Rock Pass.
Red Rock?
Working away at that worthless claim he has up there.
Oh, where is Red Rock Pass?
About halfway up 12-mile road over there. There's a wagon track up the pass.
Well, look, can I make it with this car of mine?
Yeah, that's pretty new car. No. Now, take a horse or a burro to get... Yeah, but you ain't going up to see that crazy Bisby.
Why not? Well?
Whoa, he'd catch you anywhere near that mine of his. Then he'd shoot you first and find out who you was after.
Yeah, well, I'll have to take that chance.
Oh, no, you
Thanks a lot, old-timer. At Martin's stable, I had to shell out a $100 deposit when they learned I was going up into Red Rock Pass. And again, I got a warning about running into Bisby. But I made sure my gun was free in the holster and set out for the pass. It was after 3 when I left the 12-mile road and nearly sundown by the time I reached the top of the pass. And there I found Jerry Bisbee's weathered old shack, but no sign of Bisby himself. Bisby! Jerry Bisby! And then I saw the trail leading to the little mine on the face of a cliff. So I started over toward it, walking around the huge red boulders in my path, scattered about as though some giant hand many centuries ago. Whoops!
That's fair enough.
Bisby!
Get back onto that horse and get out of here.
Sorry, but I gotta talk to you.
You see this here gun?
Oh, I see it all right.
Shoot the eye out and a snake with it. Besides, I know why you come here.
Do you?
Because
maybe...
they found Ralph Garrett's bones down to the desert.
That's right.
But you won't take me in third.
Don't be too sure of that.
Talk up, boy. Son, I don't hear very good.
I said I'm going to take you in for murder.
Talk up, I said. Besides, you got no right to take me in.
Wrong, Bisby. You hear me? I say you're wrong.
Wrong, am I? Didn't they try me once for murdering? Didn't they let me free?
So what? That doesn't mean I won't...
So you and anybody else ought to know they can't try a man twice for the same thing.
Holy smoke, he's right.
Them fools down there, they let me off. So now there's nothing you or anybody else can do about it. So get out. I said get out of here.
A well-aimed shot kicked up the sand in front of me. I ducked behind a pile of boulders and crouched there, waiting to see what he'd do next. Then I heard it from a sort of hole under one of the rocks. A rattlesnake, almost at my feet. Slowly, carefully, I pulled out my gun. I took aim and... Hey, there were others in there. There must have been a nest of them.
No use, boy. I'm coming over there to get you.
Yeah, well, listen.
I'm going to kill you.
There was another rock to my left, a boulder that maybe I could reach without his seeing me. And the sound of the rappers at my feet wasn't exactly friendly. So I bent down low and made a dash for it. Brother, that time I could practically taste the lead.
It's no good, boy. You're not so smart. Because from where you are now, you ain't got no place to go. Not without me having a shot at you. And all it's going to take is one clear shot.
Bisby, can you hear me?
And this drop pile where you was, I can get to without you having a shot at you. Till I got you cornered, boy.
Yeah, he was right. He knew it and I know it. Through a narrow cleft in the rock in front of me, too narrow even to push the barrel of my pistol, I could see him advancing slowly toward the pile of boulders where I'd left the nest of rappers. But if he was so deaf, he'd never hear them. Oh, Bisby. Hey, Bisby, listen to me.
Talk up. You got anything to say?
Stay away from that pile of rocks.
I'm going to kill you.
Hey, look, I said stay away from that pile of rocks.
I'm going to kill you dead. Unless you throw out your gun, then come out here with your hands up over your head. Come on out of there.
Yeah. Okay. I'll do it.
What you say?
I said yes. Here, look. Here's my gun.
You coming out like I told you?
Yes, look. With my hands up.
I was going to fool you.
What?
Because I'm going to kill you anyway. The same as I did Ralph Garrett.
Bisby. Hey, Bisby, wait. Stay away from those rocks.
If you got another gun hit on you to do you no good.
Bisby! Things happened fast. He jumped backward into the protection of the rock pile, and he raised and aimed his gun to shoot me down. But a sudden movement among the angry nest of rattlesnakes.
No! Rattlesnakes! No! Any of them! No!
the time I got over to him and hauled him out of that pit of death, half a dozen of the deadly rattlers must have struck him. He died before I could get him back to Virginia City. Yeah, justice again. In one of her own inscrutable ways. Expense account total, including a couple of good stiff drinks. Then the trip on back to Hartford, $496.25. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Hi, this is Dennis James. Say, remember way back when this melody was popular? There's something very special about a long-time favorite, isn't there? Well, folks feel the same way about one of Kellogg's favorites, Kellogg's All Brand. Going on 41 years now, it's been America's most popular good food way to fight irregularity from lack of bulk. Because it's whole brand, Kellogg's All Brand gentles away irregularity safely and reliably. And because it's deep toasted for extra crispness, it never gets mushy in milk. There's only one All Brand, Kellogg's All Brand. That's ALL-BRAN. Kellogg's All Brand.
Now, here's our star to tell you about next week's story.
Well, next week, the canned canary matter. You heard it right. And I promise you that title is a real fooler. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, originates in Hollywood and is written, produced, and directed by Jack Johnstone. Heard in our cast were Virginia Gregg, Parley Bear, Harry Bartell, Vic Perrin, John Daner, Will Wright, Tom Hanley, and Bill James. Be sure to join us next week, same time and station, for another exciting story of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. This is John Wall speaking. Suspense follows on the CBS Radio Network.
You know, Dooley, I've been reading up on hypnosis. Come here and let me try it on you. I am an officer of the law and don't approve of making a man divulge his secrets. However, I'll stand by in case there's criminology involved. I just want to clear up some of his problems, Officer Suggs. But I haven't got any problems. I'm the soul of contentment. Maybe that's your trouble. You're too contented. Lie down, Dooley. You're going to sleep. I feel so good. He's under my influence. Now, little tyke, get up. Go straight to the beer of your choice. Astounding. He's heading for Utica Club. 'Cause Utica Club will still take the trouble to age beer the natural way. Utica Club, you see. He's got no problem. He's a happy, well-adjusted beer mug. Brewed by the West End Brewing Company of Utica, New York.
You're tuned to WROW Radio in Albany, New York. Time, 5:30.
For your listening enjoyment, John Lund as
Johnny Dollar.
Is this Mr. Dollar, the insurance gentleman?
That's right.
Well, this is Captain Lyle Woodstock. I was given a message that you telephoned.
Oh, yes, I did. Your insurance company wanted me to look into this trouble with your wife. Wonder when I could see you.
At your convenience. But it's not trouble yet. It's quite possible that nothing is wrong at all.
Oh? Well, I understood that you were worried about her disappearance. That you hadn't heard from her in over a week. Isn't that it?
Yes, but I'll explain it all to you. But as I said, in spite of her absence, it's entirely possible that nothing is wrong at all.
All right, Captain Woodstock. I'll be out to talk to you this afternoon.
While we take a breather from our program, I'd like to ask you a question. Do you know who Uncle Sam's lawyer is? If your answer is the Attorney General, you're absolutely right. But being legal advisor to the President and other governmental agencies is only part of his job. His main task is running the Department of Justice, which makes sure that the laws passed by Congress are carried out, and that lawyers are available when the government must be represented in court. Let me give you an example. Suppose there is some question concerning the amount or kind of tax you should pay, or suppose you and the government don't agree as to which of you owns certain land. That's when the Department of Justice steps in to represent the government side of the case. If anyone is brought to trial for counterfeiting, smuggling, gold hoarding, or passport forging, the Department of Justice prosecutes the case. It also handles all matters dealing with legal immigration. And all of this activity is the responsibility of an important member of the President's cabinet, the Attorney General. Just as it is the duty of the United States government to protect each and every one of you, it is the duty of the Attorney General to protect the government of the United States.
Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to Home Office, Washingtonian Life Insurance Company, Hartford, Connecticut. The following is an accounting of expenditures during my investigation of the Celia Woodstock matter. Expense account item 1, $25.50. Car rental and mileage to the Woodstock home, off the highway just east of Bridgeport. There was a large frame house, shuttered against the winter wind blowing across Long Island Sound. Captain Lyle Woodstock, please.
Yes? You are Mr. Dollar?
That's right.
Come inside.
Thanks.
I am Captain Woodstock. It was nice of you to come out. Nasty wind, isn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't blowing like this in Hartford.
Quite often windy here on the Sound. I'm afraid you'll have to leave your coat here.
Oh, that's all right.
I discharged the servants, all of them. Couldn't stomach their attitude since Celia's departure. Come along. We'll talk in the library.
Okay.
After you, Mr. Dollar.
Thanks.
I'm afraid I was guilty of a certain amount of deception when I spoke to your Mr. Miller. Through a delicate choice of words, I'm afraid I intimated that I was frightened for Celia's very life. Sit down.
Well, why the deception?
Why, naturally, to interest them in the situation. And with a purpose, Mr. Dollar.
Well, couldn't you afford to hire a private detective?
My good man, I have wasted a considerable amount of money by doing just that. It was from the stumbling idiot of a detective that I received the news of Celia's disappearance.
He was following her?
He had been for a month, until he lost her. I had entertained certain suspicions about Celia.
What's this investigator's name?
Slater. Mr. David Slater. He was recommended as the best in Bridgeport. Considering his dismal failure, you surely understand why I felt it necessary to turn to someone else. My insurance company struck me as a wise choice, since there is a large policy on her life.
All right, I'll talk to this Slater. Now, will you give me everything you can on your wife? Description and so on?
Yes, of course. They're on the table. I brought out a few photos.
How old?
27. Oh, yes. That one was snapped on Mondego Beach. Very striking woman, isn't she?
Yeah.
And this one was taken while we were anchored off Hero last summer.
You got around.
Travel has its advantages, Mr. Donner.
This your boat?
Yes, in dry dock at the moment. As a matter of fact, I met Celia when I put into Las Cruces instead of Acapulco. And it seemed that she, too, wanted to travel.
Where do you think she's traveling now?
I haven't the faintest idea. As I started to tell you, I'd been troubled by certain suspicions. She was seeing entirely too much of a young doctor in Bridgeport. His name is Masterson. Dr. Charles Masterson.
You think he could have something to do with her disappearance? Is that what you mean?
I shouldn't like to say. I believe that she is a quite perfect physical specimen, yet she visited this doctor fellow at least 3 times per week.
Yeah? Anything else?
As a matter of fact, yes. We were in Acapulco 2 years ago when...
The rest of the story wasn't too far from typical. although I don't meet too many of the breed. A, the 55-year-old Woodstock, captain because he owned a schooner, had dedicated his life to what he called adventure. And B, the 28-year-old Celia, had also dedicated her life to what she called adventure. The results were a number of voyages. And finally, Celia Woodstock's disappearance. I found the private investigator David Slater in a conservatively crummy suite of offices on Front Street in Bridgeport.
Well, you've met him, so you know what type he is. Yes, I followed his wife.
Oh, what did she do?
Got a report on every move she made for months. You want to see it?
Not if you remember the highlights. What about this Dr. Charles Masterson?
Well, doctors are hard to pin down, you know that. She went to his office 3 times a week, but she never met him anyplace else. Maybe she was sick.
Her husband says no.
Well, I didn't find out. I couldn't have talked to the doctor without letting out who I was. He had a nurse who quit the day before I left the case.
You didn't talk to her?
I was going to, but after I left, I didn't. Why should I?
Do you know who she is, where I can find her?
Yes, her name is Janet Squire. She went to work in the Red Cross Blood Collection Center up on Union.
Good, thanks. Now, what about the day Mrs. Woodstock dropped out of sight? Was there anything special?
Why, sure there was something special. I wouldn't have lost her. I'm no rookie in this business. She bought a ticket to New York City on the 345. So did I. I got in the same car that she did. I didn't see her, but I figured she was powdering her nose or something. When she didn't show before the train left, I went through the rest of the cars, but I never picked her up after that.
She knew you were tailing her, huh?
Well, she must have. Must have got on the car and then right off. That and the money she drew out of the bank makes me think that she was running out on old Woodstock and nothing else.
No money was mentioned to me.
Well, that's funny. Woodstock knew about it. $2,000 the morning she left.
Huh. I wonder what else that old renegade is holding out on me.
The phone calls she made?
No, he didn't say anything about phone calls.
She made quite a few from public booths. I finally got into one next to her. I couldn't get the number, but she talked to somebody named Sprague. She didn't say much but the name, and then asked, where do you want me to meet you? And when she was answered, she said, all right, I'll let you know when everything is arranged. Well, that's all.
Well, that's enough for me. If he thinks he's got a free wife chaser, he's mistaken.
You gonna drop it?
Sure, that's the way it is. I gave up that kind of work a long time ago. I don't like it. It's Dollar, Captain.
Get in and close the door.
What's this? Where's Woodstock?
Close the door. If you do anything else, I'll kill you.
Where's Woodstock?
He's gone. Now walk backwards. Down the hall.
Why?
Go on or I'll shoot. Stop now and turn around. Open the door. And get in the closet.
Now, wait a minute.
Please, mister, do what I tell you. It won't make any difference if I kill you.
Okay.
Close it.
When I heard the front door slam, I started kicking my way out. The paneling was heavy, and it cost me a torn trouser leg and a scraped shin before I made it. Mrs. Woodstock. Mrs. Woodstock. Hello. Hello, operator. Hello. He'd given himself some more time by pulling out the phone wires, but it took less than 5 minutes for me to cover some 200 yards to the nearest neighbor, explain myself, and get through to the Bridgeport police. A short time after that, I met Homicide Lieutenant Al Jester, and with him, Watch 2 ambulance attendants start Mrs. Woodstock toward the hospital.
Oh, Joe, you're in lumbar cases. Keep the feet down.
What's their condition, boys? Can you tell?
It's bad, Lieutenant. A right lung.
Yeah, no chance of a statement.
We'll do what we can, Lieutenant. Hold it, Joe. All right. I got the step.
Well, I guess it depends on her how easy or how hard this is going to be.
Yeah, but better not count on it. I've been disappointed too often. How did Slater's story strike you?
Well, I had no reason not to believe him. He said as far as he was concerned, the girl was running out on her husband. The more I saw of it, the more it looked that way to me, too. Then I came out here to drop the case, and it blew up in my face.
The man you described, could he have been this Sprague?
Yeah, he could have. I didn't ask him. He was half crazy. If he was Sprague and I'd thrown the name at him, he'd have killed me. It was that bad.
Could you describe the gun?
Yeah, it was a cheap revolver. Nickel-plated with a short barrel. Caliber was .32.
You sure of that?
Oh, I guess a smart lawyer could keep me from swearing it was a .32, but it was.
I'll take that.
I got only one definite thing out of him. He said Woodstock was gone. That's all he'd say. Then he put me in the closet. I didn't hear him drive away. I was kicking up some noise getting through that door. But the people in the house where I phoned said they saw the car leave. It's the next house, that way.
I'll check.
Lieutenant Chester.
Yeah.
You better go upstairs. We're shooting up there, too.
Where?
In the hallway toward the back. There's no question about this one. He's dead.
You know, many great men have attained the highest office in our land, the presidency of the United States. Can you guess the name of this man? As a statesman, he showed great strength. He was a defender of religious liberty and continually attempted to strengthen the national unity of the state. He influenced the writing of our Constitution, and with Alexander Hamilton and John Jay, wrote the famous Federalist Papers, considered one of the best analyses of the Constitution. He ran for the first United States Senate, but was defeated. Then he served an 8-year term as representative from Virginia. During the War of 1812, when the British attacked Washington, D.C., he and his wife were forced to flee for their lives. If you don't have his name by now, here's one more clue. During his administration, Louisiana and Indiana joined the Union. Who was he? James Madison, 4th President of the United States. His life is part of your American heritage.
And now, with our star, John Lund, we bring you the second act of Yours Truly, Johnny Dollar.
Right back there, Lieutenant. Yeah, I see him.
Woodstock? Yeah, let me see. Yeah. That's who it is.
Get some light on in the room, huh?
Yes, sir.
Shot from behind.
There's a gun on the floor, Lieutenant.
That guy told you Woodstock was gone, Dollar.
Well, he couldn't have been more right, could he?
I guess not. Well, let's get out of here until the photographers show up.
By the end of that first day, the description of the man I'd tangled with had been broadcast, along with a possible description of the car he was driving. Celia Woodstock hadn't died, but she hadn't regained consciousness either. I took a hotel room in Bridgeport that night where I'd be called if and when anything happened. Nothing did. The next morning, I went to the Red Cross Blood Collection Center to talk with a nurse who had recently resigned from the office of Celia Woodstock's friend and/or doctor.
Mr. Carson, Mr. Gibson, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, please.
I'd come in with my mind tossing motives for murder around. Motives of personal greed, selfishness, and hate. And it was almost a shock to suddenly face a segment of this country, citizens, old ones, young ones, men and women, quietly going about the business of helping the best way they knew how. I stayed to give my own blood after Janet Squire talked with me, and I knew it would go out of the center in the best of company.
You can go in here, Mr. Dollar.
Thanks. I'm sorry to bother you, Miss Squire, but I was told you were in Dr. Charles Masterson's office until a short time ago.
Yes, that's right.
I'm working with the police on a case. I'd like to learn as much as I can about Mrs. Woodstock.
Well, I'm afraid I know very little. She was a patient of Dr. Masterson's, but other than that, I know nothing.
Her husband seemed to have the idea that she might be more than just a patient.
That there might have been romantic interest between them?
Yeah. Wasn't there?
Not that I know of. I make it a point to do very little prying into other people's affairs, Mr. Dollar.
Sometimes I wish I could. Do you know anything about anyone named Sprague?
Sprague? No, I'm afraid I don't. I'm sorry.
So am I. I hope the results are better when you start working on me. A telephone check with Lieutenant Jester about an hour later added nothing. He'd been in communication with Mexican authorities, but they were unable to come up with any leads on Celia Woodstock or even any proof that she'd been in the Acapulco vicinity 2 years ago when Woodstock told me he had married her. Homicide men were searching the captain's schooner, and they were still working on the name Sprague. I played my last card and went to see Dr. Masterson.
And I was shocked when I read about it. It's tragic. But, Mr. Dollar, I'm sure you realize why my name mustn't be dragged into this.
It won't be if it doesn't belong there, Doctor.
Why, there was absolutely no basis for his suspicion. Whatever made him say anything like that?
He had a detective following her. He had an idea that she came to your office too often.
And why didn't he talk to her?
He did. She said something about a sinus condition and heat treatments.
That's precisely the truth. I resent your attitude, Mr. Dollar.
Well, that puts us on a par. Your attitude doesn't set so well with me. Keeping your name out of this case isn't as important as clearing it up, no matter what you think.
But I know nothing about it.
Well, you must have talked to the woman. As often as she was here, you must have become fairly well acquainted.
Well, no better acquainted than with most of my patients.
I don't ask for any more. What did she talk about?
Why, the conversations were unimportant. She talked about her travels. They'd come here from Florida to have some work done on their yacht.
Did she talk about her husband?
Yes, occasionally. General things.
Never anything about unhappiness? About leaving him?
No. They were planning on a trip to South America in a few months.
Dr. Masterson, did she ever mention anyone named Sprague?
Sprague? Well, this is one of the strangest things that's happened to me in a long time.
Why?
Well, the last visit Mrs. Woodstock made, in the afternoon, about a week ago, someone telephoned and asked for a Mrs. Emile Sprague. My nurse and receptionist called in and asked if Mrs. Sprague could answer the phone.
Was the nurse Miss Squire?
No, she had just left me. It was Miss Hall, who didn't know my patients by name. But when Mrs. Woodstock heard the name Sprague, she went into hysterics. I gave her a sedative. When she was calmed, I wanted to ask about what had happened, but, well, I didn't. There was something about her that begged me not to. I decided to wait until she came back, but she never did.
Well, so it's Emil Sprague now.
I'm sorry I was hesitant, Mr. Dollar.
Well, it's in the works now. We'll see what we can make out of it.
How's Mrs. Woodstock?
Still alive. Those chest things are bad, though. Here's how the shooting stacks up so far. She was wounded by 38 caliber slugs. Her husband was killed by 32s. So if you were right on your gun description, the man you ran into killed her husband.
Now, what does that leave us? Woodstock killing his wife?
Well, he was shot from behind while he was going into the upstairs room, apparently chased up there. He had a gun in his hand that he dropped when he was hit. That was the gun we found on the floor, the 38 caliber.
Ballistics hasn't run any comparison tests yet.
No, not yet. I'll let you know as soon as we get a report.
Close to 12 that night, the lieutenant phoned me that Mrs. Woodstock was finally responding to treatment and would likely live. I was at the hospital at 12:30, but it wasn't until almost 3 that Lieutenant Jester and I were told that Mrs. Woodstock was conscious and able to answer questions.
Good morning, Mrs. Woodstock. Are you feeling better? My name is Lieutenant Jester, and this is Mr. Dollar. We're both interested in what happened at your house the other evening.
Mrs. Woodstock, do you understand what we're saying to you? Do you understand?
My husband, Lyle, they told me he was all right. Is he?
Well, he was shot. Did they tell you that?
Yes.
Do you know who did it?
Yes, I know. I was there. I remember.
We wish you'd tell us, Mrs. Woodstock.
Emil Sprague?
Yes. Yes, Emil. No one else was there. He made me go.
Made you go where?
To my house to talk to my husband.
Emil Sprague made you go? Why?
How could he make you go?
Because I'm Mrs. Ann.
You're Mrs. Emil Sprague? You were married to Sprague. Your marriage to him was never ended, but you married Woodstock anyway.
Yes. I was wrong. I lied. I didn't tell him. Then it was money. He wanted money.
Sprague did.
Yes. I didn't know where he was. In Mexico. I had to get away. And I married my husband. That's all that matters.
I'm afraid it isn't.
Sprague followed you here.
From Florida. I begged him not to.
That $2,000 you drew from your bank.
I gave it to him. But it wasn't enough. He made me stay with him. He made me go with him for more money. And my husband, I tried to make him understand. He wouldn't. He blamed me, called me things. Went to the drawer. Why didn't he shoot him? Did it me?
Are you sure of that? Woodstock shot you?
Going to the drawer. I remember. Turning around with a gun. That's all.
Huh. Do you know where Sprague would go?
Back to Florida.
Well, we don't think so. We've got a good description of him and the car he was driving. We think he's still in Bridgeport someplace.
You said you were with him. Where?
We had a room on Commercial Street, 713.
Is it a rooming house?
No, a big building. Apartments.
Which one is Sprague's?
It's number 12 on the second floor.
Does he have a phone in the room?
Yes. Elmwood 42132.
Thank you. We won't bother you anymore.
Thanks, Mrs. Woodstock.
I want to help my husband. I'll do anything I can. I want him to know that.
We'll tell him, Mrs. Woodstock.
Lieutenant. Men should be set at the back of the building.
All right, Sergeant. You'll go in with me. It's that corner room up there. There's a door to another room right across from his, so we want to keep him from firing if we can. All right, let's go across.
Good luck. Lieutenant! The window! He's onto us. He's been watching at the window. I saw him move.
Well, we better see what you can do on the phone then, Dollar.
Phone? We thought if you couldn't catch him off guard, we'd try and talk him out.
And there's a payphone in the hallway. His room's just to the right at the top of the stairs there.
That phone is right in line from up there.
Now we'll cover him. Okay, Dollar, if you're ready.
He won't answer.
It's ringing.
I didn't hear it upstairs.
He'll do something with it. Hello. Hello, Sprague?
Yeah.
We just got a complete statement from Mrs. Woodstock. Your blackmail, the works.
She's alive?
Yeah, she's gonna make it.
I thought she was dead. I saw her fall. I killed him because I thought she was dead. If I'd have known, I wouldn't have killed him.
I should have found out.
You should have done a lot of things. What we want you to do right now is give yourself up without any trouble. Every door in the building is covered by police. We want you to come out of your room and down the stairs with your hands out where we can see them. Do you understand that? Are you listening to me? Come on, Sprague. Come on out and make it easy for...
Stairs. Look out! Down, Dollar! Stay there, Sergeant. Be careful.
It's all right. Sprague? Sprague? He's dead, Lieutenant.
Sergeant? Yes, sir? I'll go phone in. Keep the people away as best you can.
Expense account item 2, $45, miscellaneous, hotel, meals, etc. Expense account total, $73.60. Remarks? I understand the lawyers for the Woodstock estate are already measuring ways and means to cut the bigamous wife out of the estate. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, stars John Lund in the title role and was written by Gil Dowd with music by Eddie Dunstetter. Featured in tonight's cast were Howard McNear, Victor Rodman, Ken Christie, Virginia Gregg, Bill Conrad, Edgar Barrier, and Jim Nusser. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, is transcribed in Hollywood by Jaime Del Valle. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, has been a presentation of the United States Armed Forces Radio and Television Service.
Johnny Dollar.
Henry Bascom, Johnny, at Four State Insurance Company.
Well, hiya, Hank. It's been a long, long time.
Yeah, I know. Johnny, are you free to come down here and look into something for us?
Henry, as long as somebody pays my expense account, and of course a nice fat fee, I'll go anywhere.
Johnny, for once, you're not going to be able to pad that freewheeling expense account of yours.
Any bets? Why not?
Because the investigation I want you to make is right here in New York City.
Oh, well, there's always the fee to fall back on. How much?
Usual percentage of the face value of the policy.
Okay, only how big is the policy?
Johnny, hold your hat. It's about 200... Well, I mean, it's
what?
Just under...
$200?
Johnny.
Listen, Hank, my cut on a policy as small as that wouldn't buy me a sandwich and a cup of coffee.
No, listen.
And I suppose you'll question every penny I put on the expense account.
Look, you didn't...
Why don't you just pay it off and save you and me and the company a lot of time, labor, and soap? What kind of a policy is it?
Straight life.
Huh?
But listen, you didn't let me finish. The face value of this policy is a little under $200,000.
200... Oh?
Yeah. Well?
Hank, my buddy, my bosom pal, for an assignment like that, for the nice commission it's going to pay me, I'd walk to New York.
Only maybe you better grab a plane or a train instead.
Right. I'll be there.
CBS Radio brings you Bob Bailey in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Are you smoking more now, but enjoying it less? Have a real cigarette, have a Camel. The best tobacco makes the very best smoke. Have a real cigarette, have a Camel. Are you looking for flavor and mildness? Have a real cigarette, have a Camel. The best tobacco makes the very best smoke. Have a real cigarette, a real cigarette, a real cigarette, have a Camel.
If you're smoking more today, but enjoying it less, try Camels. The Camel blend of costly Turkish and domestic tobaccos has never been equaled for rich flavor, easygoing mildness, real smoking satisfaction every time you light up. The best tobacco makes the best smoke.
Have a real cigarette, a real cigarette, a real cigarette, have a Camel.
And now, Act One of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Four State Insurance Company, New York City office. The following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the evaporated clue matter. Expense account item 1, $5.25 for a taxi out to Bradley Field. Item 2, $13 even for a plane to New York and a limousine to Grand Central Station. Then I walked over to Henry's office at 500 Fifth Avenue at the corner of 42nd Street.
Oh, Johnny, you really made time. Sit down.
Yeah, thanks. That's because of the tempting offer you made to me over the phone. A policy worth $200,000.
$189,000 to be exact.
Straight line.
Mm-hmm.
On whom?
Mr. Jonathan R. Kenworthy.
Kenworthy?
Very, very wealthy. Retired some years ago after selling off the Kenworthy copper mills.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Been living here in New York for the past 20 years. Big fancy apartment overlooking the East River. 714 East 52nd Street.
Expensive neighborhood.
Oh, I told you he was loaded.
So what happened to him?
He was murdered, Johnny.
Oh?
Yeah.
And who's the beneficiary of this nice, juicy hunk of insurance?
His grandson, Carlton M. Kenworthy. And that's the answer to your next question, too.
Now, what do you mean by that? I was going to ask you if you or the police have any idea who might
have killed him.
Yeah, that's right.
And I told you, this young Carlton Kenworthy, his grandson, who is also the sole heir to all the rest of his estate.
Oh, no, wait a minute. That's a pretty strong accusation, Hank. You have any proof?
None whatsoever. Nor have the police.
But I take it you figure that Carlton had the motive and the opportunity.
And a perfect alibi.
Oh?
Yeah.
Then what makes you think he did it? And the police, too?
And the police, too.
Well?
Motive, Johnny. It's as simple as that.
All right, keep talking.
It's simply that nobody else in the world could possibly benefit by old Mr. Kenworthy's death.
Well, now, Hank...
Plus the fact that he had no enemies. None whatsoever, Johnny.
You sound pretty sure of that.
I am. I not only knew him, but I knew a great deal about him.
Oh, but after all, a man who's been head of a company as big as Kenworthy Copper Mills, you know, some disgruntled employee with some imaginary grievances.
Over 20 years ago?
Well...
But even if he'd only retired from that business last month, I'd still say no. Kenworthy was one of the best-loved men I've ever heard of. As for his employees, why, they're the ones he left the business to. He never had a strike, any other kind of labor troubles, despite the size of his plant, because he treated every one of his employees like one of his own kids. This sounds pretty unusual, Johnny, I know. But he was an unusual man.
Oh, I see. But now about this grandson, Carlton Kenworthy.
Well, about as useless a hunk of human being as I've ever seen.
How old is he?
Oh, 30, 32 or 3.
What's he do for a living?
Well, that's the point. He doesn't. Nor has he ever done anything. Despite the fine education, all the world travel his grandfather lavished on him. Johnny, if you want a perfect definition of a playboy, I can give it to you in 3 words. Carlton Manson Kenworthy.
And he gets the whole estate as well as the insurance.
He's known in every nightclub on Manhattan Island. He and that leech Allen something or other who pals around with him.
Allen?
Yeah, Barker or Baxter or something. Theaters, nightclubs, expensive restaurants, all the racetracks when they're open, wherever they're open. And they toss money around like confetti.
Where does Carlton get it?
From his grandfather, who's always sponging off.
What about this pal of his, this Allen, whatever his name is?
Barker. That's his name, Alan Barker.
Well?
He sponges off Carlton. Oh, they're quite a pair, Johnny.
Well, did the grandfather approve of this kind of stuff?
I don't think he really knew what was going on. According to the old man's attorney, who was a friend of mine, he was led to believe that Carlton was investing in various business ventures. Oh. The point is, the boy needed money. And the surest way of getting it, plenty of it, was by having his grandfather dead.
Yeah, well, you've built up quite a case, Hank, but it still isn't enough to hang him, not by a long shot. Have the police been able to pin anything on him?
Not yet, apparently. I told you he has a perfect alibi.
When did it happen?
Last Tuesday.
Who's handling the police investigation?
Lieutenant Randolph Singer at the...
Randy Singer? Great. Randy just happens to be one of the best homicide men in this fair city of yours.
Well, he certainly hasn't impressed me.
If they've got him working on it, and if you have got a case against Carlton Kenworthy... Hank, I'll see you later.
Where are you going, Johnny?
Over to see Randy Singer.
Sure, Johnny, I'm just as sure as your friend Hank at the insurance company.
Why, Randy?
Well, the way that boy played around. Cost him a fortune. Even more than his grandfather gave him.
You're sure of that?
What do you mean?
Well, the way I get it, Grandpa gave him plenty.
Yeah, but Carlton is up to his ears in debt. Every time the boys raid a plush gambling joint, there he is. He and that hanger-on of his, Alan Barker. Like peas in a pod, those two.
Then he probably welcomed the raids. Sure. Probably kept him from having to pay off some of his losses.
Yeah, he's still in up to his ears. And as long as he's the only one who could possibly benefit from Grandpappy's death, as long as we're sure that nobody else had any reason for killing him, and we are...
How and when and where was he killed?
Tuesday night in his apartment. He was struck on the back of the head with a heavy wrought iron poker from the fireplace. One good wallop, and he was done for.
Hank says that Carlton has an alibi.
Yeah, airtight. I checked it every way I can.
From here, that is. And where's your case against him?
But if you can break that alibi...
But, Randy, if you've checked it out...
I said from here. But if that company of yours will pay your expenses to Alaska...
Alaska?
That's right.
Oh, look, with such flimsy evidence...
Will you do it, Johnny?
But now listen,
Just
Randy.
to, let's say, to get me off the hook.
But I'm still not convinced that...
Johnny...
Okay, Randy, sure.
Act 2 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in a moment.
Meet star Stuart Irwin.
Nothing's worse for an actor than a nasty cold. To feel better quickly, I take wonderful 4-way cold tablets. The fast way to relieve cold distress.
Right. Tests of all the leading cold tablets proved 4-way fastest acting. 4-way starts in minutes to relieve muscular pains, headache, reduce fever, calm upset stomach, also overcomes irregularity.
Take my advice. For your next cold, take 4-way cold tablets. The fast way to relieve those cold miseries.
4-way, only 29 cents.
And now here's a word about another fine product of Grove Laboratories. To get rid of embarrassing dandruff in 3 minutes, change to Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo. 3 minutes with Fitch regularly is guaranteed to keep unsightly dandruff away forever. Apply Fitch before wetting hair, rub in 1 minute. Add water, lather 1 minute. Then rinse 1 minute. Every trace of dandruff goes down the drain. 3 minutes with Fitch and embarrassing dandruff's gone. At the same time, Fitch can brighten hair up to 35%. Get Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo today. And now, Act 2 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, and the evaporated clue matter.
But why Alaska?
Because that's where Carlton Kenworthy says he was when his grandpappy was murdered.
Well, Randy, that ought to be easy enough to check out.
So I did, Johnny. He made the airline reservation. He was aboard the plane. He got the Juneau on Monday afternoon. He got himself a room at the Baronoff Hotel.
You checked that with the hotel?
By telephone.
Why was he up there?
Who knows? But the hotel says he was.
Well, what did he do with himself?
Apparently took in some of the night spots and flew on back here on Thursday morning. Checked him all the way through.
And his grandfather died on Tuesday.
Oh, Parker.
Here's the report on that poker, Lieutenant.
Oh, good.
The prints were pretty badly smudged, but they managed to nail down a couple of them.
Oh? Whose?
Yeah, look at this, Johnny.
Yes, sir. One print from the deceased
and a couple made by Carlton Kenworthy.
Yes, sir.
And why not, Lieutenant?
What? Kenworthy.
After all, as I told you several times, I've often made up the fire for my grandfather there in his apartment. So is there any reason why my fingerprints shouldn't be on that poker that was used to kill him?
He's got a point there, Randy.
Well, listen.
Of course I have.
The fact remains...
And didn't this officer say the prints of both myself and my grandfather were badly smudged?
Yes.
So, whoever did it wiped off his own prints and part of ours.
Quite possible, Randy.
The fact remains,
The fact
Kenworthy...
remains that I was in Alaska when my grandfather was murdered.
Why, Carlton?
Just a little trip, a little fun, just... Who are you?
Johnny Dollar, investigator for the insurance company.
Well, Dollar, I certainly hope you can accomplish more than these stupid police have.
Listen
of all the
to me.
stumbling, bumbling. Well,
That's all, Parker.
Yes, sir.
Well, Lieutenant, that silly look on your face.
Because I think you killed him. Because you're the only one with any reason
But I
to.
didn't, of course. How could I?
Hey, tell me this, Carlton.
I'll tell you anything I can, Mr. Dollar, if you'll get this incompetent flatfoot off my neck.
Kenworthy...
And, of course, help to solve the murder of my poor, sweet, kind old grandfather.
Okay. Did you make that trip to Alaska alone?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, thanks.
That's all?
That's all. For now.
Very well. And will you keep me advised, Lieutenant, if by some stroke of luck you should happen to make some progress for a change?
Get out, Kenworthy.
Gladly.
Just be sure you stay around, that you don't leave town.
Don't be silly, Lieutenant. Why should I?
Johnny, so help me, if that guy... If I have to...
Okay. Just give me one thing, Randy. An address.
Huh?
Yeah. I could see why Randy'd harbor no love for Carlton Kenworthy. His attitude there at headquarters got under my skin, too. Expense account item 3, $1 even for a cab to Alan Barker's apartment. And I saw immediately why Randy had said they were like two peas in a pod, despite the fact Carlton was a good deal huskier. They were so much alike, I wondered if there was some blood relationship.
Hardly, Mr. Dollar. We're simply good friends, that's all. Our tastes are alike in liquor and women. We like to do the same things, and... well, that's why we get along so well together, why we're known as the Inseparables.
Alan, did you know that Carlton was going to Alaska?
I certainly did. I drove him to his plane on Monday, and on Thursday I met his return flight and drove him back to his flat. Missed him like the very devil, incidentally.
You keep a car here in the city?
In the garage down in the basement.
What did you do while he was away?
Felt terribly at loose ends, but then I had my car washed and greased and took a long trip.
Oh, when?
I left Monday evening.
Where'd you go?
Oh, I drove several hundred miles. Took little side roads and byways that probably aren't even on the map.
Think perhaps you could retrace your route?
Good heavens, no. Oh, I did end up somewhere near Albany before starting back Wednesday morning.
Uh-huh. Did you stay in Albany?
My memory's a bit vague, Mr. Dollar, but I'm quite sure I didn't.
Well, where did you stay over?
Well, this may sound fantastic to you.
Where?
But I haven't the least idea. I took a couple of bottles with me. And they, coupled with the fact I was in completely unfamiliar country and that at night one little roadside motel looked as good as any other, well, I just don't know.
You know, you make things sound pretty bad for yourself, Alan.
I beg your pardon?
Considering the way you've been sponging off Carlton Kenworthy, well, offhand, I'd say you had as much reason to want his grandfather out of the way as he did.
I beg your
And without
pardon.
a very good explanation of your whereabouts at the time of the murder.
Now, look here, Dollar.
But you know something? I don't think you have enough guts to have made those lily white hands of yours wield that poker.
Horrid thought.
And yet, on the other hand...
Well, yes, Dollar?
As an accessory.
Accessory?
That's right. I'll see you later, Alan.
Now, look here.
Just don't leave town. Carlton? Possibly. Alan? Well, I don't know. I don't pretend to be an expert judge of character. But I'd swear that Alan wasn't capable of killing a man. And yet, as Randy had said, unless we could somehow break Carlton's alibi. And then I got an idea. It would take time. It would be expensive. But with $189,000 of insurance involved, yeah, I decided to take a flyer. Stick my neck out all the way.
We'll return to yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in exactly 1 minute.
Constipation is something people don't talk about much, but it can be a problem for anyone, even doctors. And when constipation occurs, it's interesting to see just what doctors consider important about a laxative they might use or recommend. Well, a majority of the doctors we heard from had this to say.
A laxative should be effective, gentle, as close to natural acting as possible, and a medicine that can be used with complete confidence.
Now, X-Lax has been popular with many doctors and millions of people over the years because pleasant-tasting chocolated X-Lax is effective. Overnight, it helps you toward your normal regularity. X-Lax is gentle. Next morning, it gives you the closest thing to natural action. And that's why many doctors and millions of people use X-Lax with complete confidence. X-Lax, the laxative that helps you toward your normal regularity, gently, overnight. Is X-Lax in your medicine cabinet?
And now, Act 3 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Expense account item 4, $489.54. That's a round-trip plane ticket to Juneau, Alaska, by way of Seattle, Washington. It wasn't until we got there that I suddenly realized I'd been pretty stupid. In spite of the fact that Alan looked very much like him, I should have taken along a picture of Carlton Kenworthy. And certainly I should have taken along a set of his fingerprints for comparison with any I might be able to pick up. Or even a sample of his handwriting. But I didn't, so I'd have to work things out the best I could. Item 5, $10 for miscellaneous taxi fares. Item 6, $10 for a room at the Baranoff Hotel. And yes, I got the same story Randy Singer had about Carlton's having been there, having spent plenty of time at the bar and the bubble room, at nightclubs all over the town. But then it was item 7, $8.50 for some drinks and dinner in the main dining room that finally did the trick. Yeah, that pointed out the one small, seemingly insignificant way in which I could either prove or disprove Kenworthy's alibi. Believe me, seldom has the solution of a murder case hung on such a slender thread. Anyhow, less than 36 hours after I'd left New York, I was back at Idlewild Airport. Item 8, 10 cents for a phone call to Randy Singer. Item 9, $7.50 for a fast taxi into 18th Precinct headquarters.
Johnny, where you been anyway?
Did you get in touch with Carlton?
He's right here in my office.
Good boy, Randy. Well, hello, Carlton.
Ungodly hour to drag a man out of bed and over here.
Yeah, have a bad night of it?
Alan and I did do the town a bit. Have you found some lead, I believe you call it, on the killer of my grandfather?
Yeah, maybe.
Do you mind if I sit down?
Maybe you'd better. Where were you when your grandfather was murdered?
Why, I've told you, Juneau, Alaska.
You know Alaska pretty well?
I know nothing about it. This is my first trip and a very brief one.
You stayed at the Burnoff Hotel?
That's right. Check with them, and you'll find I was there on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Did you eat there at the hotel?
My dinners, yes. But I fail to see what that could
Just answer my questions, will you, please?
Why not?
Okay, now. Monday night. Cocktails in the bubble room?
That's right. But what difference could that possibly...
And what did you have for dinner?
Now, that's a stupid question.
Yeah? But if I can prove you weren't where you say you were when your grandfather was killed...
If you can, Dollar, and I know that you can't, but if you could, I would gladly confess to this murder, regale you with gruesome details, tell you anything you like.
Wise guy.
I asked you what you had for dinner Monday night there at the Baranoff.
Oh, I see. You think if I say I had something that wasn't on the menu that
Just
night...
answer my question.
Or perhaps you'll check to see if the dinner was put on my bill, so I'd have to sign for it, leave a sample of my handwriting. But I paid cash for everything.
I asked about your dinner. Well?
Dollar, of all the asinine, idiotic... Shrimp cocktail, a salad, a steak, and some coffee.
Get that stuff anywhere.
But now, Dollar...
Mike? What? The coffee.
Really, if this is detective work, if this nonsensical questioning...
Well?
No, Mr. Dollar. I had my coffee with cream and sugar.
Oh, you ordered cream?
I used the cream that was on the table. Look here, now, of all the silly, absurd, childish
Cream was on the table?
Of course it was.
Real cream?
Yes, and the sugar was real sugar.
That's beside the point.
But what you hope to gain by all this, stupid... Oh, you mean you solved this heinous crime without knowing about the sugar, little boy?
That's right. Because you'd already told me you were never there.
What?
Because Alan went up there instead, didn't he? Using your name to establish an alibi for you.
Now, what miraculous deduction leads you
Because of your certainty about that cream on the table.
Of course I'm certain. Doesn't any decent restaurant put cream on the table?
No, not up there.
What?
What's that, Johnny?
But he didn't tell me that.
I don't know why, Randy. Maybe no big dairy farms yet. Maybe just plain habit. Maybe they like it better.
Dollar, how did you find out
But
about
on
that?
every table, even in the best places, you'll find no cream. But a little can of evaporated milk. Like to check on it?
Well, I'll be doggone.
It was Alan. Did Alan tell you that? Did Alan give me away because he thought he could get the money if I knew he was my friend only because of the money I could give him, but listen... He's as guilty as I am, Mr. Dollar.
Is he?
Of course he is, because he helped me kill my grandfather. Well, isn't he? I'll prove it. I'll prove I couldn't have killed him without his help. Do you hear me, Dollar? Do you hear me?
You think that's going to help you in court? Believe me, if I were to put down all I think about the Allen Barkers and Carlton Kenworthys and all the rest of that rotten... why bother? What's the use? Expense account total, including incidentals, the trip back to Hartford, $574 even. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Now, here's our star with a word or two about next week's program.
And a welcome to a couple of more stations that have joined us. WBRK in Pittsfield, Massachusetts, and WKNY over in Kingston, New York. We're glad to have you with us. And, man, how this network grows and grows. As for next week, well, I wonder just how you'd feel sitting on top of a nuclear explosive device, knowing the darn thing may go off any second and blow you to kingdom come. I know how I feel.
And I'll tell you all about it on my program next Sunday, as usual, right here on the CBS radio station that brings you all the best in programming. The story's a real cliffhanger, and I'm sure you'll like it. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, originates in Hollywood and is written, produced, and directed by Jack Johnstone. Heard in our cast were Harry Bartell, Herb Vigran, Carlton G. Young, Herb Ellis, and Jack Edwards. Be sure to join us next week, same time and station, for another exciting story of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. This is Dan Cumberly speaking.
Suspense follows on the CBS Radio Network.
Better buys are your reward. At Orange Motors for a Ford. Get your orange guarantee from the largest dealer in Albany.
In the heart of Auto Row, Orange is the place to go.
Orange Motors has the parts it's true, plus 44 years of experience too. Orange Motors, if you're wise, for better service, better buy.
It's easy to have a new Ford Falcon in your garage. Orange Motors has an excellent choice of Falcons in all colors, automatic or standard shift, 2-doors or 4-door. For a nominal down payment, you can own a Ford Falcon for as low as $50 a month. Think of it, a new Ford Falcon for only $50 a month. Want one? Come to Orange Motors in Albany.
Better Ford buys, used or new, at $7.99 Central Avenue. Orange Motors, if you're wise, for better service, better buy.
Radio 59 WROW, first on the dial in Albany, Troy, and Schenectady.